this is big. Like, this is really, really big, really big, okay? So if you follow me, you know that I speak a lot about these bottom-up approaches and the importance of somatic-based work. And often I have, in my own mind, been such a harsh judger and critic to my thoughts, that I have viewed my thoughts and analysis and intellectualism and ruminating and overthinking and obsessing as bad, negative, like not even realizing it. And today, in having the epiphany that your intellectual mind actually sometimes is needed and more useful than going into your body. If you struggle with feeling uncomfortable, anxiety, detachment, patterns of being in survival mode, chronic survival mode, your body is just reliving that inside of itself. And yes, so important to feel. And this is the importance of both and. And the both and also includes the either or. We need the polarization. We need the opposites, and to hold the space for them and find that harmony in the middle. And sometimes even the biggest experts don't always realize what is going on in their subconscious, what has been hidden and repressed or judged. And to be able to open up and find this peace and love for my intellectual part is a miracle. And so yeah, consider it. So let me explain. I'm Amanda Baker. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and a 500-hour trained yoga instructor with a specialty in yoga psychology. I call myself sometimes a recovering therapist because I often have lived in the I'm a therapist and I'm going to diagnose you and here are all your symptoms and here's your treatment plan and let me follow what I learned in school. But really what has been so transformative is the humanness, is being authentic, sharing more of my story, opening up in my vulnerability and being able to walk this journey with you. As a therapist, as a yoga instructor, as an intuitive healer, as a human. You can give all the labels, but essentially I'm right here with you, like your mirror, allowing you to move through experiences through this video. That the videos in themselves are experiential because we change through experience. So again, your intellectual mind. If your body is constantly in a survival mode and repeats through familiar feelings of anxiety, depression, shame, guilt, discomfort, then sometimes when you are moving to break through patterns and make shifts and changes, you might mistaken your anxiety as your intuition, or your anxiety as and discomfort as, nope, don't do that. Don't listen to your mind. Don't listen to your mind. Just listen to the body. And your body is saying, nope, be resistant. Stay away from maybe what really wants to come up to the surface. Whereas your intellectual mind can come in handy and be like, nope, this is important. This is important to say. This is important to express. That there might be that confusion in your body that you actually don't want to listen to in those moments. And it can be hard to discern and distinguish, but your inner knowing is going to be able to discern which part to speak from or to speak for. Actually, to speak for. Speaking from sometimes comes more reactively, whereas speaking for it is, okay, this is a part of me that desires this whatever that may have been shamed. Your shame will come up as a protector for that which wants to be expressed and felt. But in order to feel it, you may first have to intellectualize it. So let me give you an example. Let's say that you tend to shame anger. And so because anger is seen as bad, as wrong, as rageful, as bitchy, then when you experience something that would typically evoke anger, you've learned to hide it and shame it. So shame comes up as an emotion, and then it feels really uncomfortable in your body. And that may then show up as anxiety. And so in being with that anxiety, you might be like, okay, I gotta stay here, or I gotta avoid, I gotta detach. And then you don't go through feeling and speaking for that anger. But intellectually, now you may know, oh, this is important. instead of being in the body's discomfort and just staying in that resistance, you can actually then move into the anger. The shame can move over to the side, gently requesting it, gently observing it. And then you can actually speak for the anger and then maybe start to feel it. So that intellectualism comes first. Here's another example. I just yesterday was discerning between whether or not to share something openly with a friend, something that I tend to hide. And in hiding, when it comes to a desire of mine, maybe it's related to my sexuality, and in sharing that, hey, I desire to have maybe new sexual experiences, and in that discomfort, I would maybe not share it. My body would be like, no, you don't need to say that. No, that's bad. Or no, that's slutty. Whatever judgment tends to come up for you. And intellectually, I was like, well, no, this is something deep down that wants to be shared, that wants to be seen, wants to be expressed, and is a human desire. Consider that. Because once I was able to really reflect and listen to my mind and the intellectual, logical, rational part of me, I could then express it, and then the body went into some ease. So it's not always about just moving through the body. It is both. Sometimes it's an either or, sometimes it's a both. And I trust in you to be able to discern and distinguish that when you get caught up in the ruminations versus when you're making a conscious choice. It's a difference to just go with the usual autopilot of something than to actually make a conscious choice, because your feelings aren't everything. Your feelings are something to witness and observe and express, the same as your thoughts. Neither are necessarily you. You are the one that gets to observe. You are the higher self in higher states of consciousness that then can be like, all right, this is a time that I'm going to pay more attention and listen to that intellectual part of me that knows that this shame is not true. So take that in, check out some of my other videos. I'm gonna have some tapping on this as well, and you amaze me. I love you.